Alright, Cruise Nerds, so this is stateroom 2096. This is a category 9B, which is a Deluxe Oceanview Stateroom. And of course we got our keys right there. We also have our magic bands, and we're just going to tap right here. We're going to come right on it. Alright, Cruise Nerds, so once you come in, now I'm just going to back up just for a couple of moments. So when you first come into stateroom 2096, you're going to enter and you're going to see on the left hand side the bathrooms, and then on the other side, which is the right hand side, you're going to have closets, which is going to have the life vest for any kind of emergency. But first let's go over the bathrooms. So it is a split bath, as you can see. The split bath, the first of the two baths, is going to be the sink with hand soap, which is right here. And then there's a hair dryer, the old-fashioned hair dryer. And of course a nice mirror right there. Hi guys, hi Cruise Nerds. And then of course we do have some shelving right here. And then some towels right behind. And then of course there's some other items that comes with the room. Now if you have like needles like EpiPens or anything like that, sharp objects, that is what that purple pink, hot red pink colored box is for. And then there's some tissues. And then in here is the second bathroom right here, which is a sink and shower slash tub. Now in here it's just a sink, and now there is some body lotion right here. There's a makeup wipe. There's some bath soap right there, which is very nice. Then we got some bath towels right here, right behind the door. There's a floor mat right there. Some face tissues as well. Of course, shampoo, conditioner, and body wash, which is very, very nice. Now, right across the way, like I mentioned, is the closet. So, one side, these are sliding doors. They're not open closet doors like it is on the Wish class or Dream class ships. But here's the safe right here. It is electronic. And of course some shoe shelves right here. And then we do have a laundry bag if you do need to do some express laundry, or if you need to do laundry in one of the launderettes, which I will also mention in this particular video. And then if you want to do laundry service, do fill this out. And I do recommend go ahead and put it on the stateroom door and just let your stateroom host know, or let guest services know so they can notify housekeeping. And then you'll just put it right outside the door. But if you want to do your own laundry, you can do it at one of the launderettes here on board the ship at additional cost. Of course, like I said, there are life vests. Now if you do need to change the life vest size for little ones, or if you don't have any little ones, you want to go for adult size, you can ask your housekeeping or guest services. Now we'll go to the other side, just sliding it open, Cruise Nerds. And this one is more of like an open plan concept, so to speak, because you don't have that shelving like it does on the other side. Okay, Cruise Nerds, so once you pass the bathrooms and closet, you do, in this stateroom, it is a connecting stateroom to 2094, but you do have drawers right here. Now some are going to be, looks like double, but it's a single, and some are singles. And then there's the door that goes to the connecting room. Then we have a queen size bed. And then we also have on either side of the bed drawers, light switches, and plugs. And then on this side, and we do have a phone, an in-room phone, which I like better here. And here are all the options. And this one is for a capacity of 3, because the reason I know is that it does not have a bunk bed. The bed and the couch does turn into a sleeper sofa. We do have a table right here. And then a nice small desk right here with drawers, desk, and a chair. Alright, Cruise Nerds, I just want to mention two more quick little details here that I forgot to mention during the tour before I wrap this particular tour up. So here on the desk, we do have the drawers on either side of the desk, as you saw. Now, we do have a second hair dryer, which is a newer hair dryer right here. So you have this one as well as the one in the bathroom that I mentioned earlier. And then also here, as I was kind of sort of showing you, we do have some plugs, updated plugs. Okay, so we do have two plugs right here as well as USB. And then we of course have the lights here, one that is for the light around the mirror, and then one for the window, and of course the hair dryer outlet, as well as two more outlets for regular plugs. Now this outlet for the hair dryer is a 220 volt, which I believe is across the fleet, so if anyone had questions about that. Alright, and then we have the TV right here, and then we also have cabinets right above, some more drawers right here, and I'm going to try to mute that, Cruise Nerds. And then right under the TV is the fridge. Right there. Okay, and then there's the remote right there, Cruise Nerds. And then we do have a porthole, which we have a nice view. Now I'm going to back up just a little bit, Cruise Nerds. Okay? And just going to go right across the hall from us. And here's the launderette. This is one of the, this one is midship slash aft. And we're actually just going to go inside just so I can show y'all. Now, here is, of course, a sign for self-service. So we have deck 2, which is the one right across our stateroom, right there. Then we also have one on deck 6 and also deck 7. Both of those are on starboard side. Now, they do have a sign here just to kind of be quiet between certain hours. And then also, this will show you the welcome to the launderette, and it also will show you how many machines are available, both washers and dryers, here on deck 2. And then it also shows you across the ship what is open, and also I believe also what deck. Okay, here we go. So on deck 7 it looks like all the washers and dryers are open. Now you can just tap your band right here, and then you can just view, return, purchase, and it will give you those pricings as well. But that is for the pricing for the washers and dryers. Okay, so the dryers are on top, washers are on bottom. And it will also say in use if that one is not available. And if it is available, so it says please tap your key to the world card, or Disney band, I believe. And then here are the detergents and fabric softener. So for the detergent, they do have Tide, and then they also have Snuggle for the fabric softener. And then you just tap your key to the world card right there, and then you are there. So here we do have one ironing board and iron. So it is a tight space in here, Cruise Nerds. So just keep that in mind and keep that considered if you are doing laundry. Alright, Cruise Nerds, well, thank you so much for joining me for another stateroom tour here aboard the Disney Magic. Once again, this is stateroom 2096, which is a category 9B, B is in Bravo, and this is a Deluxe Oceanview Stateroom. This is located deck 2, considered midship, but it is in between midship and aft. So I do hope that this helps somewhat if you are considering an ocean view on. Alright, Cruise Nerds, see y'all around the ship.